Hey artists, today we're going to draw and paint this rocket ship. Make sure you have a pencil, an eraser, a Sharpie, watercolor paper, watercolor paints, a glass of water, paintbrushes, and a paper towel. It's important to have the correct supplies for this style of painting, especially the watercolor paper and the Sharpie. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is grab our pencils, and we're going to start at the top of the rocket ship. We're just going to start with a triangle shape with kind of a curved bottom like this. It kind of looks like a cone. And then we'll extend that out just a little bit, just go out a little bit further, and then draw another little shape like this, so it kind of looks like a pizza. We're going to draw a smaller triangle at the top, and then we will go from either corner down like this, and now it almost looks like a pencil. My rocket ship on this side is a little smaller than my first one, that's fine. Next we're going to curve the bottom like this and connect it back, and then you can see I have some little lines in there, but first we're going to draw this part here. So a long thin rectangle like this. If you want, you can go ahead and erase this mark here that you made like that, and then we're going to draw a couple of these little lines here. So I did 3, 1, 2, 3 like this. Okay, and then we're going to draw from, we're going to go across and start here with this, curve down like this, and then down like this, and we're going to stop kind of in line with this one, go over, and then from here down, and then in like this. So just something like that shape, and then we're going to try to do it the same on the other side. If it's not perfect, it's okay. Just try your best to get it to look similar. And yours might even be a different shape than mine. That's fine too. Okay, all right, we're going to go ahead and draw a window in here, so a circle, and then we're going to draw a smaller circle inside of that circle like this. All right, we're going to draw some fire off the bottom, so we're going to kind of curve out like this on both sides, go in, and then out, in, and then we're going to draw a pointed shape like this, and then we're going to do the same shape inside of that shape, so you can just kind of match as you're going. It doesn't need to line up perfectly, that's fine too. Then we're just going to draw in some planets, so circle here, some squiggly lines. Doesn't have to look exactly like mine. Okay, I did a smaller one over here with some circles inside of it. Just wherever you want. You can even do your planets differently if you want. And then I did a planet kind of like Saturn on this side. And so I drew the circle. And then for the rings, we're going to go ahead and start about here. Swoop around and then back. And then we'll start here, and as you're coming down and around, you want to get wider, so you can see it gets wider as we're coming around, so this part's bigger than this part. And then back around like that, and then I drew a separate little ring in there like that. You can erase those extra lines in between there. I also put some little dots in there, which I'll do with my Sharpie then. And also along here I added some little dots. You can do that if you want, or you don't have to. Next I drew in a couple little stars, so my easy way to make a star is up this way, this way, this way, and this way, and then you can do it all over or just a couple. I did 5 on my other one, so I'll do 5 on this one too. Might be in different spots though. Okay, so now that I'm done with my pencil, I'm going to go ahead and take my Sharpie and I'm going to go over all of those pencil marks. You can make some of these outer lines thicker, that gives it a little bit more dimension, and then don't forget to put in the little dots if you'd like. And once you're done with that, we'll go ahead and move on to the next step. Okay, I'm all done with my Sharpie, so I'm going to go ahead and take my eraser next and erase any pencil marks that I can still see. Alright, now that I'm done with that, we're going to go ahead and start painting. So you can just go ahead and grab your paper towel and a paintbrush, and we will go ahead and start with the rocket ship first. So I think I'm actually going to start at the top. I'm going to get a little bit of red. You can make your rocket ship whatever color you want though. I might make mine a little bit different than I made my last one. So we're just going to start filling in. And I didn't do a whole lot of shading with this particular painting, just a little bit on the rocket, but otherwise didn't do a whole lot. So this might be a little bit more simple than some of my other videos. We're just going to go ahead and fill in. All right, that's all of my red. So I'm going to go ahead and start on one of these planets while some of that red dries. So over here I made that one like a teal and green color. I'm going to switch it up for this one and make it maybe yellow and another color. So I'm just taking some paint, I'm just making my brush wet and getting some paint. I'm going over the spots that I want yellow. I might as well go ahead and fill in my stars too with my yellow. Okay. All right. I guess since I have some yellow too, I'll start with my fire down here. When you're right beside another color, you have to be careful not to make them touch if it's still wet, because it will bleed. And then your red will get into your yellow, or vice versa. So we're just gonna fill this in. Again, I'm not doing much shading, so it's just pretty much filling in color. Okay, I think for this one over here, I'm gonna make this circle yellow. You can make yours whatever color you want. I might even put some yellow on the here instead of the gray that I had on the other one. I'm gonna make a pink planet, I think too. I'm gonna do this one pink. If you wanted to make this planet seem a little rounder, you can go ahead and add some darker around the edges, and that will help give it some more dimension, like this. If you feel like shading, if not, that's totally fine too. I'm going to take some of my pink down here on the rings. Okay, if you get too much paint, you can see that I'm kind of pulling it up with my brush and just wiping it on my paper towel. And even here, I got out of the lines a little. If you make it a little wet, you can pick most of that paint back up again, and you can't even see it hardly anymore, especially if it's a light color like pink. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fill in this black part of the window. I'm just taking some black. And again, be very careful if it's still wet around there, so that your black especially doesn't get into whatever color you have around. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this part, this part, this part, and this part. And I did orange on my other one, so I'm going to switch it up again and do maybe maybe this color here, the purple color. Okay. If you want to do a little bit of shading here, go ahead and start at this point, make this part the darkest part. Like these lines here and along the ship there, and then just take your water and kind of let the paint flow up to the other point. You can blend it a little with your brush, but it almost blends itself. We'll do the same thing on the other side so you can see again. So I went along this edge here and here, also down on the bottom here. And took some water, kind of let it blend itself. Okay, I'm going to take that same purple and add it to maybe this one up here. Just going to do the polka dots. Sometimes it's good to use the same color for different parts of your painting so that it all looks like it blends together. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and grab some orange to work on this fire down here. Just fill this in. Okay, I'm going to take that same orange and do this stripe. Also, this part up here. Now, to give this a little bit more dimension, you can also do like the sides like this, and then water in the middle, and it'll blend and have a little bit of a lighter spot in the front there. Okay, we're going to do that same thing with the rocket ship with the gray. So we're going to do the two sides. You can kind of see over here it's darker on either side. That just makes the rocket ship look a little bit more 3D. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, then I'm just going to take my water, start pulling those two sides together in the middle. If you want to make the sides a little darker, you can go ahead and add some more. I think I want my sides a little bit darker. I'm just going to blend that in again. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So we're going to fill in the last parts of these two planets here. I'm going to go with this green for this one. And again, if you want it to look more 3D, you can go ahead and add it some darker color on the outside and kind of let it flow in the middle just like we just did. Just like this. And then the same for the bottom. You'll want it a little darker under these rings because it's a bit of a shadow there. Just like that. And then for this top one, I think I'll do maybe this teal color for these stripes. For the one with the stripes, you can go ahead and do around the edges if you want it darker, like right around here. Added a little bit more paint to that bottom stripe than the rest. So I'm going to use my trick here, add some water and pick some up and wipe it on my paper towel. And then I'm going to blend in some of these edges. Okay, All right, I think I'm all done with my rocket ship. If you enjoyed doing this art project with me, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to see when I release new videos. I would love to make art with you again soon. Most importantly, keep creating. I'll see you next time. Bye.